And hello, everyone, and welcome to Legacy of the Lazuku, the 5th episode with these wonderful people. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Thanks for joining us. And let's see, as a first announcement, as you may notice, our friend RJ will not be joining us, or 13 rather, will not be joining us for tonight's session. But he will be back, and there will be plenty of things to discuss with him based on what's happening now. But thank you for your patience, and we're going to be accompanied by this wonderful tan box in the meantime. I don't think there's any other major announcements, but last session had quite a, it was quite eventful, I would say. Is anyone here wanting to give us a recap? I think that was about it. Anything anyone wants to add? Okay. Cool. Well, then let's take a breath in before jumping into a hot desert climate again, parting the veil of reality and finding ourselves deep in the Lazuku desert. Currently, it's kind of mid-evening with a lot of the heat finally waning from the hot desert sun, and we find ourselves in the massive complex of the Azure City, this massive ziggurat-shaped palace, where our kind of our entire festival celebrating the coronation of a new sultan to be named from the sultan himself is to be celebrated and regaled, but unfortunately there will be no such regaling today, as we start tonight with seeing Conley and Jackal up in the Sultan's private chambers, where there has been a bunch of foot traffic with guards that have come in and out. One that tried to attack Jackal and knock him off the building. And now the guards who have been very suspicious have been taken away, and the one who tried to who attacked Jackal was taken away to the dungeons. But now Conley and Jackal find themselves facing down the Sultan's son, Horego, who's standing directly in front of them in the Sultan's private chambers. The kind of like the bustle of all these guards kind of is made the place much more busy than it was just a few minutes ago. But now, Jackal and Conley, you are descending down the stairs and find Horego at the on the bottom, looking very concerned and with a furrowed brow, eyeing you two both very carefully. And as you make it down, he's kind of talking to one of the guards and turns to you two and said, "Can you two tell me exactly what just went on here? Where is my father?" These are his chambers. What do you mean? Oh, so this is his like private bedroom, and he takes a ladder up to like that platform at the very top. That's just kind of like a private little gazebo. It's like just kind of a, you know, a little getaway. And and okay, why is he not coming down? It's time for him to give his speech. What? What do you mean dead? This is his own chambers. What? No, that can't be. He has. What happened? Who killed him? It wasn't. Was it those guards? No, 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 no. This can't be. He was just about to name the Sultana Wakir. What? It was going to be me or my sister, Asiri. What is? What? This can't be. Take me to him right now. It's fine. You were my father's spy master, yes? And how do you think this happened? Tell me. Shade. It is colder than the heat. What do you want? I've heard of the mythological shadowy creature of yore, yes? What about it? I've never seen one. He is very confused and angry, not at you, but at the situation. He seems very frazzled, and like his entire life and existence has kind of been a little bit thrown out of order. His father just died. You're telling him that this strange creature is potentially involved. He's kind of confused at why there isn't a simple answer here. Is this... Were you the first one here? How did you find him? No one is allowed in his private chambers. Yes, of course. And you did not alert people other than of this suspicion beforehand, before he died? I'm sorry. Just do not understand the details of all this right now, and despite the fact that now my sister and I are without our dear father, and Zarakuda is without the king, and the Lazuku is without the sultan, I must tell the people somehow. There must be something I can do. But I will have to talk to the Provincial Council in order to get a solution here. This is not very common that a sultan dies the day of his coronation. It's the perfect storm, as if it was planned or something. But do you know who could have done this? Do you know who wanted my father dead? Ah, I see. That is unnatural. I mean, they're very protective, but he. My temper betrays my nature to gather information. I am a diplomat at my heart, and if nothing else, we must get the information as to why this guard was the way he was. He's not. Most guards are not like that one. He seemed almost rabid, and the loyalty of them are, well, unrivaled among the rest of the Lazuku, so this seems strange to say the least. But I will definitely go down to the dungeons and figure out what could have gone wrong. What are you planning to do next? Well, I suppose in the meantime, as lineage determines, I suppose I am at least the new king of Zarakuda for now. So please report back to me as soon as you have any sort of information. Let's go see my father. Thank you. Yeah, he kind of like follows you up to the staircase, and then as soon as he sees the scene, he kind of like gestures you off, and you can tell that as he's kind of like locked upon the scene, he kind of gains back that incredulous, fearful, terrified look to his eyes, like he's about to break down as he starts to walk up to his crumpled father. Absolutely. You find Conley and some of the other guards downstairs. You know that there are like a couple times in history that have had a couple of instances of this. Most of the time, as Horego just kind of alluded to, the way to resolve this has been usually through what's called the Lazuku Provincial Council, which is kind of a conglomerate of the leadership, the kings or provincial government of each respective province that meets together and kind of like determines inter-provincial issues and is considered kind of the second, like the right hand of the Sultan when it comes to kind of ruling over the entire desert as opposed to individual states, so to speak. And so most of the times in history that you can recall this has happened has been kind of deferred to the council. And usually they've either picked the natural kind of like next in line kin to the Sultan, or if there's a kind of very natural heir, then that's kind of the way that they go, and they instate them and everything goes as normal. And then in very rare cases, there's been some kind of like mystery rumor of it's really an ancient rite where one can, if one on the council doesn't feel like anything can be done fairly, then they invoke something that is shorthand called the Tournament of Dawn. The proper term is the Octaro Mashra, and basically it refers to kind of like a trial by duel and a tournament one-on-one fighting between all of those who claim to be the best candidate for the throne. But that hasn't happened in a couple hundred years. Sure. So, to give you a TLDR, it was to the effect of... Where is it? I just read it out. He basically said, Ashkan, please, as my last wish, find Tethir and let him know who he really is. You all don't remember any direct eye contact. Make me a history check. Okay, so you have heard of the term, of the use of Ashkan, specifically regarding the Sultan. And it's kind of like something that no one talks about, and if you ask anyone within the palace, most people don't know. But you remember it being used to refer to what some people used to kind of call the Sultan's imaginary friend, or some sort of like advisor that the Sultan never really explained. And kind of, he would say, I've consulted Ashkan on blank, 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 and no one really asked any questions, even though he was usually the only one in the room. Things of that nature. But you don't know more than that. You don't know any more explanation. Absolutely. You make your way down the endless maze of lefts, rights, staircases, doors, and finally find yourself back down in the ballroom, where currently everything seems to be just peachy. People are still kind of enjoying the libations of the celebratory feast. The peacock and its tamer is still making its rounds, entertaining guests. And in the very back of the room, you find on kind of like one of the terraces overlooking the festival grounds is Savan at her own table with a big basket of half-eaten olives left. Is Savan doing anything right now? He seemed pretty disturbed, or yeah, pretty sick. Hmm. Okay, yeah, sure. So, you can tell that this, after kind of casting Identify, that this is definitely kind of, at least somewhat standard of a divination crystal ball. It's kind of like a tool that you were familiar with from your times in or around the kind of mage school where you trained. And you can tell that this has a divination effect on it, and you are familiar with kind of like if a lot of visions and divinations of a certain magician or a wizard or witch or such would normally be kind of like a fuzzy, kind of hard to visualize, abstract kind of like vision in your head. Crystal balls and the like are used to kind of like condense those down to more concrete, um, you know, almost like a mirror that reflects what you're seeing and can show it to other people. So you think you could use this? You can't tell necessarily if it's pretty special or not, but it's pretty standard. Okay, then as you are sipping on some more champagne, you see Jacqueline Conley that walk over to you from the other side of the room. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Do you tell him what happened, or you just say that he's needed? Okay. Yeah, he kind of he's like, oh, really? Right now, I was just enjoying that wonderful peacock demo was. All right, I'll be right there. And kind of like gets up and very confused, but very like you wouldn't do that if that wasn't a very important thing. So yeah, he scurries off. And not to mention your bag full of cutlery and plates and. Yeah, as you stand up, you hear kind of like a clanking of metal all against each other in your bag. All right. You all kind of go back into the double doors through the guards, like where Conley and Jackal went before, and instead go in a totally different direction from before, where you kind of descend farther into the depths of the palace. Um, Again, kind of a maze of staircases and doors and archways. Savon, this is a very, very complex and very bougie kind of place. A lot of servants going every which way and different guards posted in different places. And you finally make it down after about a maybe 5-10 minute walk. And you arrive in kind of a large brick kind of rectangular room that is definitely kind of smells like a dungeon and kind of has a lot of just wrought iron bars, prisoners inside, and a bunch of guards. Kind of a standard palace dungeon with torches down below. Jackal, you see that back kind of in the one of the main, kind of like the premier cage, so to speak, or cell, is a posting of 4 guards in front of a cell with 2 guards within it, and you recognize them from before. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. When you say standard, you mean a protocol? I will let you determine that standard if you so wish. Did you? Is there something like where? What are you asking me for? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can definitely. Oh no, no, no. Yeah, absolutely. No, I guess I'm just. Yeah, you have full access to talk to them, interrogate them however you wish. You also would know that. I guess this is a helpful detail. That the kind of like court magicians of the Sultan often have a collection of scrolls that are all of Circle of Truth that are used for such purposes. You need someone to cast it, and currently most of them are caught up in the festival. If only you knew someone. Nope. That you just like any other. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, it's just a pretty. Yeah, it's just like any other spell that you would read out of your whatever tome of spells. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well then. Derp. Currently desktop audio should be working. You know what? We are going to take a quick tech break, everyone, because we haven't heard anything so far. Thanks for being patient with us. We will be right back. Thank you so much.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal.
Recap.
Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost.
All right, we are back now. Thank you all for your patience. You should hear our wonderful other players, so it is not just me. Please let us know if that is not the case, but I think we've got it fixed.
You hear the sound of my voice, chat? I sure hope so.
That voice in particular is a gem. So, who can give... I think Connor offered to give a recap. But I think if you would, you might have to give the double recap, both of the last session and now what we've done so far.
I did not agree to this, but okay.
Someone else... Oh, Conley, Mike, do you want to do the
Sure.
last one recap and then Connor will take over?
Previously on.
Yeah.
We had a coronation party last session and went on a lovely little crystal ball vision quest. I say lovely, but it didn't turn out so. 13 got a bit of a migraine and some character development, and we also saw some uncomfortable images involving the Sultan's imminent danger. The party split. Jackal and Conley went to the tower to find the Sultan murdered. And then we have just reconvened from there. What's the plan now, Jackal?
Yeah. So, a couple things we found out. Number one, the Sultan's son Harego confronted us. He's like, "What just happened?" And we're like, "Your dad's dead." He's like, "What?" And so we bring him upstairs. Conley and I started talking about what the Sultan said, which was Ashkan. I need to find Tathir and tell him who he is. We're like, Ashkan, who's that? And I'm like, well, it's the Sultan's imaginary friend. That's probably important. We got to figure out who this Tathir is, but let's go into the other world first, because we've got stuff going on there. But we should also go back to Sivan. So we go talk to Sivan. I tell other people where they need to go, and we're going to the dungeons right now to interrogate some people.
There we go.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
Oh my god.
Exactly. So our party finds themselves... yeah, oh my god. They find themselves in the dungeon of the palace, where the two guards, one of which attacked Jackal and the other was shifty with Conley and ended up biting another guard, were taken and thrown away in the dungeon after finding the Sultan dead in the gazebo above his chambers. And now we're just talking about how they keep scrolls of Zone of Truth ready for such interrogations within the dungeons, and they have identified the cell in the back of the dungeon that these two guards are kept. I believe they were just discussing their approach.
Yeah, so I am taking one of those scrolls. I am taking some blunt objects, and I am getting one of these guards, the one that was very handsy with me, and getting them into a nice room all on their own.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we are going to talk to this gentle person.
Sure, absolutely. As you kind of come up to the cell, the guards in front, the good guards are out in front, and they kind of warn you. They say, "Watch out! Those ones, they've been acting kind of strange, and we're not really sure why. But we found there's some kind of like a thorn in the back of their neck or something. So I checked that out.
Perfect.
But also they're leaking something, some kind of weird, like black stuff. I don't really know. I wouldn't go near those wounds. Is all I'm saying."
Okay. That's gross.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I'm no medic.
Oh my god. Am I going to be able to get one of these guards out and moved into the interrogation cell?
Yeah, they are chained up on other sides of the cell.
Cool.
So yeah, you can take one of them, and the one that you know was the one that got a little too personal with you.
Cool.
There's like a separate room with completely walled in with stone and such.
This thorn in the neck. Does it look like it's in a place where if I remove it, they are going to be okay?
So would you like to make me an investigation check?
Sure. 13.
Okay, so after you're able to kind of like get this guard on his own, keep him tied up, and kind of put him in a chair where you're going to ask him his questions, you kind of are able to inspect him a little bit closer, and you notice first thing that he's kind of like jittery and like got this like almost like rabid kind of tendency to him. And as you kind of get to the back of his neck, you find that there's what seems to be like a dark, almost black or obsidian kind of colored spike, almost like a large kind of like thorn of some sort of plant, and it's kind of protruding from the back of one side of his neck, and it seems to be around the site, kind of has this black inky kind of tendrils that almost extend out that seem to kind of get into his blood or some sort of system back there. Definitely doesn't look natural. You've never seen this kind of thing before. But it doesn't look like it's necessarily in any kind of major organ that would shut down if you took it out.
Great. I would very much like to take it out.
Okay, so you go up to this guard, and he's kind of like already kind of suspicious of you as you're messing around behind him. And the second that you kind of get your fingers on this thorn, he immediately goes, "Ah! No! 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 No!" And he starts to kind of like flail around.
I'm gonna come over and try and like help restrain them while Jackal's doing whatever they're doing behind them.
Okay, would you like to make me an athletics check to do so?
Sure, I suppose so.
All right, let's see if I can do that. Okay, dirty 20.
Okay, unfortunately, by 1 point, he resists your kind of attempts to hold him down. He's kind of like, it seems like almost with a supernatural stamina that he's able to kind of like jerk around and
Stop! Hey, stop! Stop! Stop!
and you're able to like kind of calm him down, but not enough to like keep him fully still.
Am I able to remove the thing anyway?
I will give you a chance with a sleight of hand check to kind of like, surgically be very precise and...
8.
8. Yeah, so as this flailing man is going around, you try to like very carefully, like, it's like trying to play Operation on an airplane, going through turbulence, and you kind of like are able to get a hand on it here and there, but as you pull, it seems pretty stuck in there, and the best you can do is kind of like, it seems to kind of like twist within his skin. It doesn't seem to fully be out.
Sounds like it's going well in there.
It's going amazingly. We can do this easily. But you're making this very hard.
Nice try.
I mean, you could just knock him out if he's being difficult, right?
Yeah, but then we can't ask him any questions.
Oh, we can wake him up.
Knock him out, tie him up, and then, well...
Oh, he's already tied up.
I am better because it's really hard because he's moving so much. What are you trying to do behind him anyway?
Look at this. I'm gonna point out the thing.
What is that?
I believe it has something to do with well, all the other black liquids that we come across. This is a very gross conspiracy. Usually there's a lot less body fluids involved.
Do you want me to try and do what I did with the water to make it turn clean? Maybe that will make the thorn come out?
Or you could try it.
I don't think it's gonna have to worry about us trying to hold him down for this, so that's something. Alright. Yeah, instantaneous. Okay. So I'm going to what are the verbal and somatic? Cool. I'm going to do a few hand gestures and use the primordial word for purify as I cast Lesser Restoration on our prisoner.
So, basically, you put your. Is this like a. Are you laying your hands on him in order to do this? Or.
Yeah, requires touch.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you kind of like lay your hands on him quickly, and he's immediately kind of like very reactive to your touch, but you're still able to cast the spell. You're kind of put your hand on the side of the thorn, and immediately you see this kind of like whitish glow that starts to fight back the kind of blackish tinge inside him, and immediately kind of goes like it stings, searing inside him. You hear a hissing sound as if it was a hot pan. And after kind of your magic continues to kind of make your way to the site, you finally hear kind of like a and as you hear this kind of final sound, the thorn goes and kind of flies out onto the floor next to you. It's kind of like blackish obsidian spike falling to the ground. And immediately as this leaves his body, the man comes and he goes limp in the chair.
Oh shit!
Is he alive?
I usually don't kill people when I use that spell, so this is outside of my skills.
I would like to check and make sure that this person is still alive.
Okay, please make me a medicine check.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna pick up the thorn off the ground.
12.
Okay. You are able to tell that he is still breathing, but not by much. It seems to be labored and not the breathing of a well person.
Okay.
And Conley, do you want to do anything with this thorn? You pick this up and you can immediately feel it's cold to the touch. This thorn seems to be kind of about like yay big and very kind of like probably the size of a kind of like a straw at its base, and then goes up to a point, and it just seems to have this kind of uneven, jagged black obsidian kind of shine to it. It's glossy.
How does it smell and taste?
Well, it has blood on it, so it definitely just kind of smells like that at the moment. If you were to taste it, it tastes like blood and almost some kind of weird, earthy, not pleasant, kind of foul taste.
And after I move it away from my mouth, do I feel okay? The taste test doesn't do anything to me?
Yeah, it tastes like blood. You don't seem to be being consumed with anything.
Okay, for now I'll just hold on to it.
Jackal, make me a perception check real quick, because you're kind of making this medicine check as well.
19.
Okay, so as you're kind of like checking the vital signs of this person, you also notice that as reported, there's kind of this black stain coming from the bandaged area of this guard, where on the kind of like lower right torso, in the kind of like the belly region, it's got kind of a large set of bandages that probably cover a solid, like, I don't know, 8 inches of part of his torso and kind of wrap around him. And you're noticing that there's some kind of wet stain coming from that area.
If I needed to, would there be, I'm sure I would have like a clean set. If I undo this bandage, I'm not going to let this dude bleed out.
Sure,
Is what I'm trying to posit.
You know that most wounds aren't going to immediately kill someone if you untie. Yeah, you're good there.
Cool. I'm going to take a peek.
Okay. You peel back some of the bandages as this man is limp on the ground of this chamber, and slowly and steadily you unwrap kind of like one strip, another strip, and you start to uncover this dark stain of some sort of seemingly necrotic, or kind of the smell of decaying flesh enters your nostrils, and this very unpleasant wound finally reveals itself to be kind of like, you notice that around, kind of not in the very center, but around it, you see more of this black, inky, tendrily outward, kind of like entering through the blood cells, the blood vessels, some sort of black tinge. And as you finally reveal the entire wound, what you find there is a very clean-cut, cylindrical hole in this man's torso. It seems to be perfectly cleaved through with...
Like all the way?
Yes, all the way
Like
through.
at the other prison?
One would say that that's pretty uncannily similar.
At this point, I'm probably still in the hallway. I don't think I even went in this room after I read the scroll, so I'm probably just opening.
You're
one
just
of
like
those
chilling
bottles.
next to the door? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, is he... It's... I don't want to pry. If he's dead, that's going to look really bad on us, so should we call someone, or...
He is not dead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well then, fine.
We need to wake him up.
I will try gently waking him up.
Okay.
Uh,
Just kind of just pushing on him?
yeah, just like slapping his face.
Sure. Yeah, so as you kind of like slap his face around a little bit, you kind of get like a very like weak kind of like
Okay, if he doesn't immediately wake up, then I'm poking the wound.
okay. Yeah, so it kind of like goes from like a stop, please.
Welcome back.
Good morning.
Nephew, please, that hurts so much. What is that? Please.
How much of what you just did do you remember?
Where am I? I can't even see where. There's this thing I remember. I was with the Sultan. It was after court. It was. What day is it? And you can kind of give him the day of the week if you wish.
Sure.
And that must have been 3 days ago. I just remember being cornered after the court and some strange spirit thing coming up to me, and
Oh, that's all.
I don't remember much after that. I just remember this pain in my stomach, please. Can you help me? You notice that his wound is starting to bleed.
You want me to do something about that?
If you can.
All right. I will place my hand on the hole and just like, this is not going to help much, but at least he won't die on us. And cast Cure Wounds for plus anything. Yes. So that is 6 hit points.
Okay, so you cast this curative spell, and this very now feeble man, very badly hurt. You see that in the wound, this very clearly cut wound, the kind of strands of organs seem to kind of like reach together as if making a lattice and pulling together a little bit. You can tell that part of the black whatever is still kind of affecting him. And as most of your healing goes through, you can see that still there's this inky blackness that seems to get in the way of some of that healing magic, and so most of his wound heals up, but you can see that there's kind of like these holes where it should have been patched up that are still touched with this inky blight, and prevents some of your healing from fully going through. But he is stabilized and is kind of like, you see him go, oh, thank you. Oh, God, that hurts so bad. Oh. What did I do?
Tell me, whenever you met this spirit thing, were you alone?
I believe I was with one other guard, my cohort that day. It was just after our shift.
All right. And they just attacked you. They didn't say anything. What did they look like?
It was originally some form of... It seemed as though a shadow of a man that was coming down the hall, and then as it followed us into the room, I realized it was not a man, but some inky black cloud of sorts. It wielded some sort of scepter or staff I had not seen before. It was very strange, and for some reason it did not seem threatening to me. It was as if it was natural until it walked up, or floated up rather, and well, that's all I remember before my vision goes foggy. Did I protect the Sultan well?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, you kind of killed him.
Or
What?
that's what the scene looked like whenever we got there. Now,
What do you mean I killed the Sultan?
I mean, you killed the Sultan,
What?
and you seem intent to blame me on it.
What? I did no such thing! I was out! It was not me! It could not have been me, it was someone else, surely.
Was it that one? I point at the other of the two special guards.
Through the other wall, he kind of looks or through the door rather, kind of looks and goes, I don't remember anything, we are loyal to the Sultan, we would never do this to him. We would never kill the Sultan, is he really dead?
He was dead, right?
No, he's very much dead.
I promise you it was not me.
I don't normally do this thing. What should we do now? Is this a truth or?
I was gonna say, is Zone of Truth still active?
I don't think you cast it yet, did you?
Oh, I thought I did right as we went. Okay,
Oh.
sorry. Whoops.
We
I
can
meant
say
to
that
have
you
cast it. Yeah, when they went in is when I would have.
Ah, gotcha. So you don't get the vibe from him that he's lying. And with Zone of Truth, you would be pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I do have to say this is a very unbelievable story.
I don't know what to tell you. I promise. I was not there. I don't remember anything before that shadow.
Where did they say where they saw the shadow before blacking out?
He mentioned that it was around the court, like he was leaving court for the day and they were just getting off their shift, and kind of rotated with another set of guards. So they would presumably be kind of in the palace barracks or somewhere like that.
Okay, well, I don't know a ton about like the legal system and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that story's not going to hold up in court. So, you
Not
might want
unless.
to-
Go ahead.
No, do you have an idea?
It's the same idea as always. Figure out what's going on. There's only one truth.
Sure.
Okay, so then what now? Should we go try again with the other one, or?
I think we got what we needed. I'll get old boy up and escort him back to the cell.
So you'll tell them that I was innocent, right? That I didn't do anything wrong, yes?
I will find out what's been going on here.
Then I will be here, I guess. What's wrong with him? And he kind of gestures over to his compatriot, who is still, like, "Rah."
Well, if it's the same thing that was going on with you, possession, I guess.
You had this in your neck, and I hold up the little black thorn.
Was that why my neck hurts so much?
And also why you are probably dying.
Dying? I thought
Everything on the inside is covered in this black goo. I try to heal. It does not come back very well, so just know that it's still inside you.
What is it? Where did it come from? How do I get it out?
We
Think we have 0 of those answers?
yeah.
Well, I hope I'm okay. Are you going to remove the thorn from him?
I think that's best left up to the actual people who will be investigating this to do.
I hope he's okay. And the salt is dead.
All right, I think we've done enough damage here.
Okay.
I'm just going to take the obsidian spike and like put it on one of the tables that's in here, and just like jot down just a couple of like standard interrogation notes. Remove spike, hole in chest, the alibi about the shade, and with a little note that says investigating further, Jackal.
Okay.
And just leave that there for whenever the official
Right.
whatever the official system is comes down here.
Sure. Okay. Perfect. You put it in the log and it's well documented.
Now what?
That's a really good question.
I'm sorry to say, I did not expect the party to go this direction. I'm at a loss at what to do now.
You all are kind of, as you're hanging around the base of the dungeons, you kind of watch as a couple of servants come through the way that you came in, and kind of like go up to the group of guards, and just kind of, not in any kind of like quiet terms, just kind of say, apparently, Lord Arago is going to be doing some sort of announcement to the crowd. I'm not sure what's happening, but they told me to tell you all. And he goes, thank you. We're going to stay here, but we appreciate it. And the servant kind of like goes back up from where you came.
Okay, well, at least the actual news isn't being spread. All right.
That isn't?
Yes.
Well, do you think that is what he's going to talk about?
Yes.
So then the news is going to be spread.
I'm saying people haven't been let in on information before their time, which is good.
So then my thought was, the black goo that's inside their body and the shadow that I guess has caused this in them. Do you think that it's the same problems that are happening with the spirit world on the other side, like how the healing springs had the goo inside?
I think it's too much of a pattern for it to be a coincidence.
If we were to fix the problem in the spirit world, do you think it would make the shade mad enough to come and find us?
And possibly.
Maybe we can lure it out that way?
Possibly. I think whatever's happening in the spirits, with the spirits, definitely needs to be solved.
Yes, and we did say that after the party that we would go back to it. Looks like the party has already ended, so should we go back?
I mean, it's pretty late. We should at least get some rest and then maybe go tomorrow.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. If we are not on a time-sensitive thing, should we at least figure out how much time we have before the next Sultan is picked? Should we have this figured out before then?
Maybe he'll announce that in the thing that he's about to say. Oh my gosh, that means the party's going to be over. We better get back there and get the last of the trays. I wonder if we have any of the shrimp left. I'm just gonna start hustling.
Sure. Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to accomplish before going back to the ballroom?
Yeah, I look over at Jackal and go, the Sultan's kid, Oreko, his name was?
Yes.
What is he like? Is he good? If he becomes a Sultan, will he be good for us?
You know about as much, kind of like, as anyone who serves a parent of someone, you have limited experience with Horego, but you do know that he's kind of like a young man in his kind of like mid to late 20s, who has been very well renowned as a diplomat for Zarakuda, and is very much kind of like an ambassador to the different provinces. He's definitely more of a bookworm than any sort of fighter, as opposed to his sister Aziria, who's kind of like on the front lines of the military. And so you know that he's definitely kind of like the face of the two, between the two, and Aziria is a lot more the kind of military and kind of fit one. So yeah, that's kind of a general hierarchical or overview there. But you know that he's pretty popular.
I think his answer to the question will be based on how he would have acted whenever the stuff with his aunt went down.
Yeah, so he was pretty disturbed by that and pretty kind of like alarmed when all that went down.
How much of that was he let in on?
He would have been briefed at the overview of what was happening, and we're talking in cryptic code at this point for everyone else that doesn't know what we're talking about. However, basically, he kind of trusted your intelligence, and he was actually one of the people that advocated to his father for you to be one of the new, like, take over the spy master role.
Oh, okay, so he knows a lot. Okay.
He knows,
cool.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the top of the intelligence bits here.
Cool. I think there would be a lot worse rulers than him.
But that
seems to
doesn't
be
tell
fair.
me whether or not he is good.
I think that he is fair and intelligent, but you never really know the mettle of a ruler until they have the chance to prove themselves.
It's true. Well, I wouldn't like him to get too much comfortable with his power if he ends up not being a good person. So, if we could have some time to talk to him if he ends up becoming the Sultan, that can make an end of our deal.
I can arrange that.
Okay.
All right. So, as you all ascend from the depths of the palace and make your way back to the ballroom, you notice that everyone has kind of got a weird excitement in the air as to being told that there is an unexpected announcement. And all of the guests in the ballroom have crowded to the side of the room that are most clearly in view of the platform. And you see that Horego is not far behind the kind of main speaking platform, talking to with Onorak at his side. And as we kind of like enter into this anticipatory environment of this ballroom, that is where we are going to take our break. So thank you everyone for being patient and sticking with us. Take a break, hear a message from our sponsors, get some water, pet your pet, take care of yourself, and we will see you in not too long. Thanks everyone.
Oh baby, I love your madness.
Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high quality Dungeons and Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmrin. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our undying love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, Open for Adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi. My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by found familiar. Did you know that every bag of found familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of found familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by Found Familiar in conjunction with Devon Rue. Now that's canon. Found Familiar Coffee. Buy it today.
Yeah, to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium. pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless. I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless. I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless.
And we are back. Hello, everyone, and thank you for sticking with us. We were diagnosing some technical problems, and now we have them fixed. So, let's jump back in. Last time, when we left off before break, our party had just come from the dungeons, where they sought to interrogate two guards that were suspiciously absent or negligent during the Sultan's death. And what they found was a spike in the neck of one, and along with a very identifiable wound. And their memory completely lost. So we rejoin them as they ascend back from the dungeons up to the ballroom where the party was. And they now find themselves entering as the rest of the crowd is huddled around the kind of like side of the ballroom that is kind of a terrace that leads out to the rest of the festival grounds and the stadium on this side of the palace. And they're all anticipating an announcement that they've heard is going to be made by Horego, the son of the Sultan, now late Sultan. So, you enter into the ballroom as before, but now it's got kind of a different energy to it. It seems kind of like everyone's got this like confused and frantic energy, and they all seem to be whispering to themselves about what could be happening. What do you all? Is there anything you all would like to do as you enter? Sorry about that.
Given the weird stuff that's going on, I kind of want to, if there's space available, maybe post up somewhere where we can see. I would like to be able to see the crowd and this guy at the same time. Like, I kind of want to be off to the side in the wings or near so I can see what's happening.
So that's
Is there like a balcony in the courtyard that like a security detail would be posted up at that I would be able to get them to?
Yeah, so you know that there's kind of the ballroom itself actually has quite a view of both the crowd and the platform, because if you think of kind of like a big U-shaped building, the platform is like sticking out into the middle of the U, so almost like an E, I guess. And the ballroom is on one of the other two sides, kind of like as a rectangle, kind of outstretching. And the terrace is kind of like on the inner side of that leg. And so you can clearly see on your right is the platform, and on your left is the entire crowd and festival grounds. If you wished, there are definitely a plethora of guard postings around the walls of the palace itself, and then also kind of like behind the platform where they're going to give the speech or the announcement.
I can get you to somewhere with a very good view, but we may not be able to get any more snacks.
Oh, well, that's okay. I probably have enough. I don't want to pop the seams on this dress.
Then I'll bring us to one of the overlooks.
Okay, absolutely. So you make your way over to the kind of like one of the main guard overlooks, where you have now an even more clear view of both sides. You're just maybe 50, 100 feet away from Horego and the platform, and then you see the sprawling crowd that is gathering in this very condensed kind of like U-shape that is below the platform, waiting for this announcement. You all are kind of like gathering, and finally you see that Horego steps forward up to this kind of like, not altar, but a podium at the very end of the the platform, the same one where the Sultan welcomed the crowd just not even an hour or two ago. And he calls out with his voice to the crowd, and he calls out in a clear tenor voice, and as he does, the crowd quiets down around him. He kind of addresses them and holds out his hands. He says, "Joint peoples of the Lazuku Desert, I am so glad to have you here today, though unfortunately I, Horego, son of Sultan Kobulos, have an announcement I would like to have never made in all of my time here in the Lazuku Desert. Unfortunately, I bring you the news that my father, Sultan Taraza Kobulos, is dead." And the second he says that, the crowd immediately erupts with murmurs. The ballroom to your left is kind of immediately kind of like clamoring with people talking to each other, turning in confused and alarmed looks. He kind of brings them in. He goes, "I understand that everyone should be as destroyed as I am, and me and my sister Aziria," kind of gestures behind, "are destroyed and distraught with this pressing, awful turn of events. We are still investigating if this death was natural or under less savory circumstances, but I hope you understand we address this with the highest diligence of the land, and we will demand justice for my father in one way or another. Now, I ask something of you after this. May this not bring us to an unraveling of our union as a group and as provinces come together under the Sultan's banner. But instead, I implore you to steel your trust in your leaders and I as we decide the fate of this position for the future. We will consult with the leaders of the Provincial Lazuku Council, as we have unfortunately needed to before, to assign who is the best Sultanu Akir for the entirety of the desert, not just Zarakuda. Now, unfortunately, we have not much to say at the time, and we can only give you a leaving. We can only leave you with the trust that the right person will be chosen for the position, and we will update you as soon as we know more. Thank you so much for your patience, and I thank you all for coming. And he kind of gives a nod, and immediately the crowd erupts with kind of like a roar of panic, of rumors, of things, just kind of general chaos. And out of the crowd, before Horego is able to step down, some sort of figure comes up in a kind of like a brown cowl and robe and kind of like a cape behind him, or not a cape, but like just kind of a long hood and kind of a garment below, so that you can't really see their face. And you hear from this figure a very clear voice that comes out and says, "What about the Aktaro Mashara?" And with an uncanny amount of volume, you see that this voice erupts from the crowd, and everyone becomes hushed almost as soon as they erupted, and Horego is kind of thrown back by this, and he kind of is confused and very off-put by this, and he kind of addresses this figure. He goes, "The Aktaro Mashra, for those unfamiliar, is known as the Tournament of Dawn, but you see this was only used to determine the next sultan in times of extreme strife, when a member of the Lazuku Council did not trust the rest of the members to come up with the correct and deserved ruler for the future. There is no reason to assume that that is the case. We are all among the council in good standing and trust each other. Under Taraza Kobulos, we have become one, and thus we have no need for such things. It is only necessary if one member felt so completely distrustful of the process. And plus, that would be a massive insult to the rest of the group. It would be not taken lightly. You see, there is bloodshed in the Aktaro Mashara. Blood that cannot be taken back. So thank you for your inquiry, but we will handle it among the Provincial Council. And as he kind of like very annoyedly starts to step back and walk to the back of the platform, you hear the voice of this figure call out again. And he goes, "Then I invoke the sacred rites of the Aktaro Mashara." And the crowd immediately is almost like not sure whether to laugh or to kind of gasp. And the second that he says this, Horego turns around and immediately has a flare of kind of like beady anger erupt in his face. He kind of turns back to the figure, and not even going up to the podium, but just directly talks down to this figure. He goes, "You dare to disrespect my father and our council with such a mockery of this sacred rite. This is not to be taken lightly, and it is a serious allegation to say such a thing. Luckily for us, only a member of the Lazuqu Provincial Council, the kings and leaders of each province and the Ilpedia, can invoke this. So your petty mockery of this process is invalid." And everyone turns to face this figure, and you hear just kind of a chuckle erupt from him, and he turns and kind of responds, puts out his hand and says, "As usual, you have forgotten us and attempt to wipe our names from the chronicles of history. But your tyrannical neglect ends here. We will no longer be cast aside and punished for my grandfather's sin. Though this tournament is one of death and risk, it will also be the cleansing to put the Sultan in the right hands. Through this tournament, Solim guide me, I will take the seat of the Sultanship and lead everyone in the Lazuku, not just you petty Zarakudans, not you sycophants. So let me be clear again." And he, this male voice calls out, and he takes off his hood and reveals kind of like a clean-shaven and bald, darker-skinned man, and he kind of calls out. He says, "I, Izad Malagoro, leader of Garota, invoke the sacred rites of Aktaro Mashara." And immediately the crowd erupts in even more of a chaos than before. You hear people kind of shouting to each other, panicking, kind of calling out, he can't do that! And what is going on? What is happening? And what is the council's fault? And all sorts of crazed voices over this. You see that Horego immediately is this kind of like this mask of composure is completely removed as his face reveals kind of like a madness and anger, complete bewilderment, and just kind of an overall just overwhelmedness with this news. He kind of like takes like a look at this figure and then goes back and walks towards Onarok and discusses with him for a few moments. And in the meantime, everyone's kind of in chaos with their own thoughts. Is there anything you want to say in this meantime? Or anything you want to do?
Jackal is just like transfixed on this, but you can just see that he's like doing trigonometry in his head.
Totally fair. Then if everyone else is transfixed, then yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
You said this individual is Izad what?
His name is Izad Malagoro.
Would if he says that he's the leader of Garota, and that's where I'm from, would I have heard that name before?
You indeed would. You've definitely heard of the Malagoro family. And you know that ever since that kind of sin of his grandfather, Garota has rarely been considered in the actual dealings of the Interprovincial Council, and have almost been kind of shamed as the child that technically has to be involved, but not very often invited to the party. So, after discussing something with Onorak at the back of the podium, Onorak actually steps up forward to the podium, and he obviously has this very trepidatious look to him, and he kind of addresses the crowd with a very kind of resigned look, and he goes, "With further investigation and such a serious allegation from Azad Malagoro, we as the Lazuku Council, upon the Lazuku Council, must respect the sacred rights of the Octaro Mashura. In the period of 1 week, we will prepare this ancient Tournament of Dawn. Those of you who are of royal blood or wish to prove themselves in the public eye may challenge yourself to duel with your fellow man or women or those otherwise in order to achieve what no man in history has ever done, to take the Sultan position for your own. We will report more on how to proceed with this tournament, but I hope your steel is ready. The fate of the Lazuku, the legacy, relies on it." And he kind of bows. Yeah, he bows and kind of like shuffles back to the platform, and Onorak and Horego go back behind the kind of like door out to the platform and leave the crowd to their own devices. Everything completely erupts in a massive hysteria of murmurs, of rumors, of panics, of all sorts of things, and the ballroom near you is no different.
People's anxieties are being a bit too much for Conley, so I'm going to look over at Jekyll and Sivan and be like, "Can we leave this place now? Maybe go talk back at the hotel or something?"
And Jekyll will just nod.
Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
You all, unless there's anything you want to do left at the palace, you make your way through the festival grounds. From the ballroom to the hysterical crowd, where you see people with confused faces, worried faces, some that are excited, some that are completely bewildered. And this news, both of the Sultan dying, and now this strange tournament deciding the next one, is completely overtaken most people with completely bewildered and just curious and confused looks. Everyone seems very on edge and just kind of uncertain, and you can't find a single face as you go by that seems to be fully confident in what they're doing anymore as you pass through the crowd and make your way back to the mango tree. Eventually you go...
When we're walking through the ballroom, do I still see 13's basket of olives? Is it still sitting there?
It is.
Okay, I guess I'll grab it.
You are able to do so. And you make your way into this inn, the mango tree, where Sivan and 13 found a room. I believe Conley and Jackal, this is your first time here, or at least to some degree.
Yeah, I have not set foot in this place.
Yeah, so,
I at least walked them to their room.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, Conley, just a refresher, this is a very beautiful, immaculate, high-end, kind of like made of bamboo and other types of kind of wickery wood, a large 2-towered hotel with a large restaurant on one side and beautiful hotel rooms kind of looking out over most of the city on the other. And Savan takes you up to I believe the 3rd floor, or 4th, I forget. But
I don't remember.
yeah, you are able to navigate up to your room, and yeah, I'll leave it to you if you want to explain anything else, Savan.
This place
No.
fucking sucks.
What'd you say?
This place sucks.
Oh, well, I mean...
So much
this
wasted
is-
material.
I mean, I suppose, but also this is where you've been getting those fancy breakfast sandwiches from, so... I'm just saying, take the good with the bad.
I can take the good with less bamboo.
Okay, well, anyway, here's the tub. It's still got hair in it, because I'm sure 13 took a bath and didn't clean it out. And here's the terrace, and the city looks very pretty. And then you stay here, and I'm going to change, and we'll be right back. Should we order drinks?
I could use one.
Okay. I don't know how room service works, but I assume they have some form
I'll
of
take
that.
care of it.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'll change and then chill in the sitting room or whatever equivalent there is.
Absolutely. There's kind of a table / just kind of couch that encompasses 2 sides of this square table. There's also pillows on the floor and such, if you wish.
So what now?
And Jackal is just like sitting with his elbows on his knees, just like leaning forward in one of these chairs, and looking at the ground, just being like, I don't know. I expected a lot of things. I didn't expect any of the particulars that happened today to come to fruition. And I'm sorry to drag you into this, but I do appreciate everything that you've been doing so far.
So, can you explain to me this tournament that they talk about?
As far as I can understand it, I haven't been privy to see one myself. They're extremely rare, but every region of the desert can put forth their nobility to fight to the death to see who can control the desert. They get the new sultanship.
So only the nobility can do this?
You do know that the way that it works, this is not the most clear to like anyone immediately, but basically anyone who claims lineage to like royalty of a province has their own kind of like entry into their own bracket, so to speak. And then there are only 3 spots that are allowed from the general public, and they kind of come in immediately in the loser's bracket, so to speak, and they have a harder path to the end. But everything else is pretty like a normal tournament. So basically a lot of the kind of non-royalty go through their own duels just to get to those 3 spots, and then the actual full, duels for the crown begin.
I'll relay that.
So what if, then, we find someone who we think actually is a good choice for Sultan and put them in the tournament?
Why don't you just do it?
I don't want to rule. I like to fight. I might just go to fight, but I don't want to rule things for people. Nobody's going to want to listen to me anyway, so...
That is a lot of fighting in order to even stand amongst the nobility.
Well, then, but I'm pretty sure not good people will try and join the tournament and get in. It sounds like we don't have control over who is going to become the Sultan. That sounds like a problem, right?
Jack will shrug. Yeah, it's a problem.
I mean, is it though? How much does this actually? I mean, okay, Jackal, I know you like work here and stuff, so it's. I understand why you might have a little, but like, I don't know. How invested in this are we really?
The Sultan before, the one that just died, they were not good. They would go very far and destroy a lot of land in the name of people expansion. So sometimes, not good people will rule. So if we just let some terrible person take over, I don't know where you come from, but maybe they come to your town, take your stuff, because they need it for progress or something.
I mean, the benefit of not having a town is that you never have to worry about that happening.
The problem is they take more than they need and they do harm. They hurt the world around them, they hurt the people, they hurt the animals.
I mean, that's fair, I guess.
Personally, I am normally pretty okay with not having anything to do with people. But this has involved my forest at some point, so I need to make sure it's going to be okay.
As for me and other people in similar positions, we're going to be doing the best that we can for the desert in our positions, no matter who the Sultan is. Unfortunately, the Sultan has to keep us. We have to be in this position in order to do what we can. And this challenger, what was their name?
Izad.
This Izad. He seems to be more of a scorched earth kind of gentle fella.
What makes you say that? You know them?
I know people like him. They feel wronged. And they want to take it out on everybody around them. Everybody who they see had a part in it. And in their eyes, that seems like all of us.
But then we probably don't want that person in power, right?
We absolutely don't.
But something that's a little bit weird is that, like, I've been hanging around for a while, you know, just here and there, and people from Garota don't really, like, leave Garota that much. Like, people tend to kind of... So, like, it's kind of weird that the Sultan is murdered. All of a sudden, this guy's in the crowd, like, I want to fight for the seat. Like, you know, I read a lot of books, so maybe, like, this is, like, one of those murder mystery things. Maybe he knows something.
Or is behind it. A lot of... too much of a pattern to be a coincidence.
So, if not many people leave Garota, what makes you leave Garota, Sivan?
Well, I kind of didn't super, like, have a place to live anymore. So I just took off.
Anymore? Like, did your house burn down?
No, I don't think so. At least not when I was there still. I just didn't have a job, so I didn't have a way to pay for the house after my dad died, so I just took off.
Okay. But so you live there? Do you know this Azad person?
I mean, I don't know him, like, personally. I wasn't super popular because there's not a lot of people that look like me there, so I didn't get out a whole lot. But I've heard of him. I mean, I know he's a tool, but I don't know anything beyond that, really.
Okay. Why did you need to come to the ceremony?
Me?
Yes. I came because I needed to talk to the Sultan and make sure they were okay. That's why I come to Jackal. I did not know you before we started this adventure. Was there something that you needed Jackal for?
I mean, no offense, Jackal, you're super great. I like you, you're super fun, but I don't, like, need Jackal. I'm just... I don't know, looking to put something impressive on my, my resume, so to speak. I think
Your what?
Well, it's a thing that sometimes if you need a job and they say, like, have you done other jobs before? And you can be like, yes, I've done other jobs. Look at these jobs. You put them on a piece of paper and then they say, oh, okay, well, then you can do this job. And they give you the job.
That's really dumb. That's confusing.
It's really dumb. You know what's the worst part is you have to update it like every 6 months because the jobs don't work out and it's exhausting.
Oof. Okay,
It's
so
pretty stupid.
you're looking for a job and you need to put more jobs on your papers so you can get better job?
Okay, no, sort of, but no. So really, the thing is that, like, I have to be impressive. I don't know much more than that, but I'm kind of looking for... Well, I'm kind of looking for my mom, actually. And I don't think she's going to see me. I don't think she'll agree to see me unless I'm very impressive.
Wait, so you know where your mom is?
No.
So you're looking for them, but also you don't think that when you find them, they are going to want to talk to you?
Oh, yes, sort of. I have to, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know for sure if I have anything specific waiting for me, but I mean, I don't know. My mom went to go somewhere, and I guess she's still there, maybe, and I feel like that's the next logical place for me to go. But I don't think she's going to agree to see me unless I prove that I'm good enough.
Well, if you enter the tournament, you don't have to win and become Sultan or anything, but at least get on the losers bracket. Maybe that would look good.
But the
Show
losers
people you are
bracket
strong.
is death.
You sign up to die?
Yes.
That
Are
does
you
not
sure?
sound like a tournament. Or are you saying that you don't think we are good enough?
No, but... Jackal is guarded.
But by the way, Jackal, just throwing it in there, these types of things aren't always necessarily like in the individual duels. It can be to the death, and that's the choice of the victor. But some people do spare their people. But just wanted to throw that out there, that death is not the prerequisite for winning, but it is definitely a common outcome.
I get the sense that it is if we go against Izad, so...
Yeah,
Jackal will stand by his statement.
Sure. I just wanted to let you know that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that's a... My friend Hysis used to say, if you're not first, you're last. So I don't really think that there's any point in me being in the bad bracket.
What about winning, and then when they present you a sultanship, you give it to your mom? Like a gift? Is your mom a good person?
I don't have a lot of information, but the evidence that I do have suggests that we don't really... It's a gray area. You know, morality is relative. It might not... I don't know.
Oh. So you live with your father separated from your mother. Now that he's passed, you're trying to find... trying to find her, get her to notice you?
Yeah, I think yes. A little of column A and column B. I don't. I've never actually met her, so I don't super know what I'm looking for. If I'm being honest, I don't know where she is. I have no idea. However, since we're on this subject, you know when we were in that like spirit place and y'all were talking to that bird?
Yeah.
There's something in there. There's like some, I feel like there's some kind of passageway or something to a different place through there. I kind of want to check it out because I feel like I get a good hunch about it. You know how I get my hunches. So I think, I don't know. There's something to that.
Do you think it could help a situation with the shade as well?
That I don't really know. I'm still getting used to the whole like caring about other people's problems. I've been working on it with 13 and we're doing pretty good, but like I haven't really thought that much into it. I just know I want to go there, if that makes sense.
It does.
Huh.
So then,
Okay.
if we can go back to the Crystal Cavern, go back to the spirit world. We have to fix the tree, and there is a tunnel or something that you want to look at.
Maybe.
So there's good reason, at least, for you to work, for you to work with us until that part is done.
I mean, yes, I don't. Everything I say sounds really mean. I don't mean it that way. I don't really have anything better to do. It's not like I have a direction to go in, so I'm just kind of wherever the wind takes me.
No, I don't care if you are mean or not. I just need to make sure I know whether or not you're going to be fighting with us.
Well, I suppose we'll see when the time comes.
It is time.
I have no intention of abandoning you now.
Okay.
That's certainly good to hear. Now, Conley, you seem like you're getting very invested in this.
Like I said, the Sultan, they think they control everything in Lazuqu. So I need to make sure whoever becomes the Sultan is a good choice. And on top of that, something about the spirit world is causing problems for me and my friends. So if they are linked somehow, then I guess I am more involved than I thought I was going to be.
What friends?
Well, these ones. And I kind of just lift up a pant leg and a sleeve, and little tiny sentient pebbles and self-contained water droplets and little colorful wisps of various flames all start to come out. And fan out and explore the room, creating it looks like somebody snapped a glow stick, cut it open and started flicking it around the place. They come with me from the jungle. They are getting sick too, like the plant outside of the temple and the water themselves. So I need to find out what is going on before they die. And I don't think I will be in a good place if they are gone.
Can we pet them? Are they friendly?
You look down and they've made all sorts of little mini all sorts of a menagerie of different little sounds.
Can I just scoop up a few of them?
Just be careful. The fire ones are still made of fire, so they hurt.
Yes.
And also, Rossi and Nono are not very friendly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Jackal, you look down and you find that there is a small pebble creature pulling on your pant leg.
All right, move along now.
They used to be bigger.
And Yasavan, you're able to kind of pick up a group of a pebble, a little wisp of blue fire, and a water droplet friend that all kind of
They're so cute. What are these ones? Can I understand? Can you understand me? Hello.
You hear a very little kind of almost water.
A little water sound.
Yeah, a little water sound, and a little with the kind of pebble thing, and those types of sounds, but you can't really identify much of what they're saying.
That's fair.
It's like a very old version of the way that you and I speak.
You can tell that it's definitely like, yeah, it's like a really ancient type of primordial. You can like identify some syllables, but nothing super identifiable.
But yes, this is my friends and family. They raised me up from when I was very little.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
Would you care to elaborate?
Well, they are very nice to me and they teach me how to hunt and take care of the things around me, which that usually is what friends do, so they become my friends. And since friends that are very close also can become family, some people say. So, some of them are my family too.
I'm not coming from a place of judgment, but just logistically, how do these little sprites change your diapers and stuff?
Oh,
How do they feed you?
They taught me how to hunt, and some of them can catch bugs.
But
So
you
when I
were a
was little,
baby.
no, I was not a baby. Well, I was probably a baby at some point, but when they found me, I think I was like half the size I am now. But I think I already knew how to change my pants by myself. And it's kind of hazy. I don't remember when I first met them, but they've just been in my life since I was a little person.
And you don't know where you were before that?
No. No.
I mean,
But-
that happens sometimes. I wouldn't.
But it is okay. Like I said, they take care of me and they do good for me. But they are getting sick. And something about what we are involved in is what is hurting them, so that's why I am invested.
Jackal just like nods. I think he's thinking hard about this. All right. Well, I mean, feel like we got to make sure that's taken care of. I'll do what I can to help you out.
You are called a spymaster. So are you a type of noble yourself?
Not really. I just work with them.
Do you have better push for the throne than us? Are you still just considered a commoner?
How would that go? I think if I tried to enter, I would have to go through the same thing that y'all would. I don't have noble blood or anything.
I have watched you kill more than one person in a single swing.
I'd prefer not to.
But then who would you want on the throne?
I don't know. I've seen too many people try to take that throne. My ideal, somebody who doesn't want it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen with this sort of tournament.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But they said we have a week, right? To sign up. We could maybe find someone in that time.
Jackal, can I ask you a question?
What do you want to know?
Do you like your job? Because it seems really stressful.
It is really stressful.
Why do you do it?
Because I want to make sure that the person I want to make sure that what's happening within this city, within this region, that it's I don't want anybody else doing this job. I don't want anybody worse trying to do this.
Are you just like a big old softie on the inside? Because you're so like to the business, but also you're really like sweet a little bit. So like, what is your deal?
I just want to do the right thing.
That's fair, I suppose. I still argue that the right thing is relative, but I respect your position.
I can appreciate that. Yeah. I guess, was that what you were going for, or what else? What did you
I
want
mean,
to know?
like, do you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or just a special friend or like I don't know, when's your birthday or what's your favorite color?
Well, my favorite color is gray. My birthday is generic autumn day. In this world.
Do you have friends and family?
Wait, answer the boyfriend question first.
I do not have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner of any kind. Not particularly looking for one either. Family, no. My father died whenever I was 6. My mother was gone before that. Very similar to you, Siobhan.
So like, what did you do when you were like 7 then?
It's kinda. I was out in the streets, and got approached by the former spy master. Did some work with him for a long time.
Kids can be spies?
Yeah.
That's genius, especially their fingers are so little. You can get into so many places. That's really smart.
Come on out to the terrace. And we'll go out to the balcony. And Jackal will turn his back like on the balcony and just like point out, see between the building there with the red roof and the and the stall right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the purple tent canvas?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And in between them, you can see this like 14-year-old person with like this shaved side of their hair, completely white hair drenched over their other shoulder. That is Zindan. They've been with me for a little bit over there, and he'll just point to like around one of the fountains in one of the squares. Right now they are trying to keep out for any suspicious, or trying to keep a lookout for any suspicious characters who've come in during the festival. Their name's Sarah. I know most of the kids in Saracuda.
Oh.
Oh, so Oh, you are their father?
Not. No. They just. I look out for them.
Oh.
Make sure they don't get involved in anything more unsavory.
Huh.
That is a good thing.
So you just like really like responsibility then?
Well, someone did that for me, so I want to pass that on.
Oh, that makes sense.
That is a thing that not a lot of people do anymore. That is good.
Well, I suppose we shouldn't wave to them, right? That will like break their cover.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, please don't.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stand stock still, but I'm gonna wink at Zindin like, hi, buddy. But I'm not gonna wave.
So it sounds like, well, at least for the time being, we all have a reason to get invested in what is going on in the city. We don't have to stay too long, but I think we probably need to help try and fix this.
Right.
Well, I think I am going to go back out of town and get some rest.
Are you sure? It's nice in here. I still have just a palm full of these little cutie pies. Are you sure you want to leave right now?
I don't like staying in places like this for very long.
Can they spend the night?
I like grab like 3 out of your hand, but leave like 4 behind. Those ones are okay overnight. Don't put them on your bed though, because they will start a fire.
Oh, smart.
I'll like lean in towards your hands and just be like,
I love it so much.
I will see you all in the morning. I love you. I will see you all in the morning. I suppose we have a lot of work that we are going to do.
Yeah, I need to check on 13 anyway. He hasn't come out of his room this whole time. I bet his tummy really hurts. It's probably all those fucking olives. But he doesn't listen to me, so.
And then I'll like head over to the door and like nod back at y'all and okay, I think we will do some good. Like, head out.
In Primordial, I'll just say, okay, bye, see you later.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna take my leave as well.
You don't want to stay for the sleepover? We're going to tell stories and tell each other's fortunes. I could tell your fortune if you want.
After today?
I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't it feel nice to be like, okay, I know for sure at least tomorrow I'm not going to fall off a building.
Fuck it.
Hear me outside. No, it's okay. I will remember to cast Firefall next time.
Okay, I am gonna try to tell Jackal's future. I'm gonna see. Hold on, I might have a spell that lets me. Hold on.
Okay.
If not, I'll just do the runes.
Okay.
But I think I have.
So how does this work?
All right.
Well, she does have a new crystal ball.
I do. So it's a little bit, a little bit of razzle dazzle, a little bit of bullshit. Okay, so. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna like very ceremoniously like get this little area ready and like set up pillows, set up candles, like blow out all the torches or whatever. So it's like dark and seance-y in here. You have to set the mood. Okay, you sit on that pillow.
I'll sit on this pillow.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to sit on this one, and I'll summon Gypsum.
Okay.
Who?
Just like from behind Savan, like from potentially nowhere, not from a bag, just the snake appears from Savon's back.
Perfect. And then I'm going to take out my crystal ball and my runes. And I'm going to like shake them a little bit and then just kind of like let them fall on the floor between us. And then after they have settled into a pattern, I'm going to set the crystal ball in the middle. Gypsum, can you help me? Can you do the thing that do the swipey thing? And then Gypsum will slither out from behind across my lap and then slither across all of these opalescent runestones. And as his body passes over it, you'll see that they individually kind of start to light up with these bright red like rune symbols. Some of the runes have symbols, some of them are blank. Well, that's very interesting. As a note, does anything happen with the crystal ball?
So as these runes kind of light up, you see as almost like little spurts of color. As each one lights up, enters like almost like a cloud of like colored smoke, like puffs, and each one creates a new one inside this crystal ball. To shape them is up to your own divination, and to show what that represents. But basically, whatever your reading would indicate, you can kind of coalesce into a more visual state with it.
Okay. Odds or evens, Connor?
Odds.
Choose wisely.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I don't think you're trying hard. Can you, like, think really hard about how good it would be for you to not fall off of a building? And also think about how bad it would be if you did fall off of a building, because it's not picking up your stuff.
Sure, I guess, is there, like, a sort of mantra I should be doing? Do I need to say, like, two truths and a lie?
You could say something like, "Oh, Sivan, see her into the universe, help me see into my future," something like that. You can just think it in your head if you just, you don't have to say it out loud. Sometimes it breaks my concentration. Anyway, okay, so let's try this again. Odds or evens?
Odds. Never tell me not the odds.
Okay. And I'm going to like get really close and peer into the crystal ball. I don't think you're going to fall off of a building, but I mean, you might die. I don't think it's going to happen that way. And I think your chances are a lot lower if you just stick with us.
Great, that is...
Oh my gosh, hold on. I see this so clearly. Tomorrow you show up and you're bringing me new clothes again? Oh my gosh. Jackal.
Insight.
I mean, if your passive insight is more than like an 11, you probably know I'm full of shit right now.
What about previously?
I think that, I mean, I did like an Arcana check to see like how accurate my reading would be, and I rolled kind of low mechanically, just letting you know. So.
Is that right?
Yes, I think we're about to become best friends. That's what the crystal ball says.
Well, I'd hate to make the crystal ball a liar.
Exactly. So yeah. Anyway, happy shopping. I mean, sleeping.
And I think that, my friends, is where we are going to call tonight's session. So, that was a nice little conclusion. Nice sleepover party, I guess. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful session. A lot happened, got a lot done, and probably a lot more questions than answers. But that's for our players to investigate in the future. Let's go around and give our sign-offs for the night. And then, yeah, we'll close with our warm fuzzies. Who wants to go first?
go first. Hi, I'm Chris. You can find me on Twitter at Kiss of Hemlock. I have a lot of fun projects going on. I'm a part of the Faeforge Academy podcast, which is a D&D actual play podcast that comes out and every other Friday. Every other Friday, and it's a lot of fun. It's about a magical school that's far less problematic than the famous one, so you should definitely check it out. I have a lot of cool things going on, so following me on Twitter is the most efficient way to hear about what's coming up next for me. My favorite part of the session was, honestly, as visceral as it was, probably the interrogation. The thorn imagery was like disgusting, but on point. Like bad, but so good. So that was probably my favorite part.
Awesome. Who's next?
Hi. It's been 2 weeks. I forgot how to do sign-offs. Go to Twitter, several to one. It's spelled weird. It's in the chat. But the pin post there has everything that I'm doing right now. Yeah. So go check out some of those things because they're fun. My favorite part, I love to like chill, just like talking, decompressing. That's my favorite part of like any movie, any game. Really, is just chill, lo-fi things to forget falling off of a building to.
We need a YouTube like loop with that name now. All right, how about you, Mike?
That's me. All right, how's it going, y'all? I am Media Flare, voice actor and D&D player for hire. You can follow me on Twitter at Media Flare. I post there occasionally just doing dumb stuff. Otherwise, I stream on my own channel, twitch.tv/MediaFlare, where I do a mixture of narrative and survival games. My highlight of the night was finally being able to introduce my family to the team. That was super cute.
Sweet. And lastly, I'm Luke. I was your DM tonight, and you can find me on Twitter at Dr. Petrichor, also on the O4A Discord. Currently, this is my main public streaming debut, and look forward to seeing this through, but definitely looking forward to kind of dipping my toe more into that space in the future. But besides that, I make video game cinematics by day, and if you're curious to hear more about my random thoughts about turtles, you can follow me on Twitter. And let's see, my favorite part tonight. I thought it was really endearing that Jackal agreed to have his fortune done by Savan. I feel like that was a very like placating, like, screw it, I mean, fuck it, you know. And that was just a really endearing, funny moment. And it was a very good, I don't know, like, contrast to the rest of the very, stakes-heavy session. So, that whole decompression thing, I think, is also just, in general, my favorite part, and it was a nice end to the session, but that's going to be it from us. Lastly, but not least, we want to talk about our warm fuzzies. For those of you who don't know, we have Patreon. That is how we keep most of our stuff rolling, and we'd like to thank our wonderful warm fuzzy level patrons that keep us in business. First off, we have Bel Chavez!
El Chavez!
L Street Gaming!
L Street Gaming!
We have Rick O!
Rick O!
We have Strix.
Strix.
We have Deborah.
Zebra!
And lastly, Blessed Eloah.
That's it. Hello.
Thank you so much for your support, friends. We really do appreciate it. And that is going to be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to our session. Thank you for understanding our technical difficulties and getting through them. And we're so glad that you could join us tonight. Join us next week where we figure out what's next for our heroes. Thanks, you all, and have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.
Bye.